Most people, if you tell them, yeah, by the way, there's this like Superfund site back there, they don't believe you. They're like, wait, they would never let that happen.
Superfund sites. They're the black sludge on our collective conscience.
If a person were to come in contact with these wastes, it would be very detrimental, because the material is very toxic. You would not want to ingest it. Even breathing it can cause some issues.
These are the former landfills, the power plants, and the chemical refineries that dot the landscape of America. But nobody lives far from a Superfund site here in the Garden State.
The little you knew about the river was don't get near it, don't go in it, definitely don't touch it. Like everybody knew, it was a dirty river, very polluted.
There's 114 of them, the most out of any state in the U.S.
So the Diamond Alkylide site, it was the largest producer of Agent Orange in the world. And everyone talks about this one thing, a white powder that covered the whole factory. Everything was covered in this white dust, and it was like a sticky dust. So if you walked in, you would get it all over your shoes. That dust was dioxin, and so it was being carried all over the neighborhood.
And while federal cleanup is underway for some of these toxic sites, the greater threat to them now is climate change.
So based on what has happened, we're concerned with the flooding events. We've been fortunate that nothing has happened, but what's the future going to look like?
And oh, what a mess that will be. Many of the Superfund sites in New Jersey are vulnerable to fires, floods, storm surges, and rising sea levels.
One of the biggest concerns is how to plan for something that we don't know the extent of going forward.
When these sites flood, they can wash all kinds of toxic chemicals into nearby bodies of water, even homes. The toxic remnants of the state's industrial heyday are buried underground and lurk underneath places like the Passaic River. Here in New Jersey, most of these toxic sites are in the backyards of low-income minority communities. Residents already face a greater risk of health problems. And now climate change threatens to damage Superfund sites and spread pollution even further.
I'm one of the, I would imagine, few senators that lives in a city that has the number of Superfund sites this one has. And surprise, surprise, I'm a senator that I think the only senator that lives in a low-income Black and brown community.
I'm Jordan Gaspore, a journalist who was raised in a small town in Texas, where I was fed a good helping of stories involving three-eyed fish and gulped down plenty of orange tap water. I now live in New York City, in an apartment that sits on top of a former chemical company. And my neighborhood is surrounded by contaminated sites. These experiences led me to create Hazard, a podcast about the ways climate change and extreme weather will impact Superfund sites in New Jersey. We'll hear from the politicians, the EPA, and other environmental experts. But our real guides are the people who live under the shadow of these toxic sites. Listen to their stories beginning in May, wherever you get your podcasts.